old school arcade games are a growth business, at least in one small town in McLean County. It's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Monday, June 10th. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with Arcadia, the big arcade in small-town McLean that's about to get even bigger. WGLT's Lauren Warnicki has more.
Downtown McLean contains a hardware store, a post office, and an uncommon number of arcades. And vintage video game paradise Arcadia is about to get even bigger.
As long as God gives me breath, I am going to keep adding arcade attractions to McLean until I either die or it's like just a complete arcade city.
That's Arcadia owner John Yates, who is well on his way. By the end of the year, he plans to open Arcadia Unlimited in the building he's used as a warehouse for 30 years.
That's one of the problems with restoring it is it's full of games. It's got like 800 games in it, and so it's kind of hard to renovate a building full of equipment.
Arcadia's current locations are coin-operated. Arcadia Unlimited will charge an entrance fee for unlimited free play.
I have avoided that up until now, even though those are far more lucrative and better for the owners, but I've been trying to recreate the experience that I had as a kid.
As a kid, Yates was fascinated by the arcade business. He loves the hunt. As a trained electrical engineer, he loves plugging in a game and figuring out how to get it to work.
It's not about money for me. I mean, I've got a family. I'm real active in my church. I want to have the freedom to go where I want to go, when I want to go, and do what I want to do. I'm a one-man show, too. I could be a lot more successful if I hired a bunch of people and we could really grow this thing, but I'm just living the way that I enjoy.
For The Leadoff, I'm Lauren Warnicki.
Here are some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. The McLean County Board's Executive Committee meets today at 4. On the agenda is a plan to ask voters whether to eliminate the office of the county auditor. That office is held by Republican Michelle Anderson. Congressman Darren LaHood is urging the Biden administration to blacklist Chinese electric battery manufacturer Gotion for human rights violations. Gotion is building a $2 billion battery plant in Manteno. And an Illinois State University graduate is now an appellate judge in Central Illinois. The Illinois Supreme Court has appointed Raylene Grischow to the 4th District, which includes McLean County. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. Jan Lancaster refers to her downtown Bloomington bar, the Bistro, as an alternative bar, providing a welcoming space for LGBTQ patrons for 3 decades. Now, Lancaster is part of the 2024 class of McLean County History Makers, a sign of how far the community has come. WGLT's Lauren Warnicki spoke to Lancaster about watching that unfold from behind her bar.
The early days, I was not prepared for so much hate from people. It was totally shocking to me that people were afraid to park their cars here. At night, we had to walk people to their cars every night. It was, and the comments, the hateful comments that people endured was just ridiculous. Things have changed, sometimes a lot for the good, but there is still so much that we need to keep working on. Some of the community feels like, oh, we're kind of going backwards, and I'm like, no, we're moving forward. It's just sometimes it's slower.
The younger generation of LGBTQ folks might feel that not enough progress has been made, or that the progress was selective, mostly for white gay men. And I don't mean this disparagingly at all when I say this, but that kind of the gay bar drag queen scene is worn out.
Once equal rights became pretty, a lot of gay bars closed because they weren't willing to change what was happening. And the one thing that I worry about the younger generation is that they don't know the history. So we always will try to keep saying the history of the community, and I think that's very important. I'm happy that everyone's accepted everywhere, of course, but I think that was one of the reasons why several clubs closed, was they were just not willing to make a change and not like outcast everyone. And we try now to we do karaoke, of course, that's well received. We do a couple drag shows. We were at one point doing drag shows every single weekend. Sometimes that's just a little too much.
It's a lot of sparkle.
It is.
when is the work done for you, or done enough that you can say, like, I did enough?
I don't know. When we started the Advocacy Council, Dave Bentlin and I, that was when we were trying to get the Equal Rights Amendment passed in Bloomington and Normal. We tried in Bloomington, and we had decided to have a meeting here at the bar before, so we could figure out what game plan we were going to go with. We must have had over 200 people in here, and they were coming here for the very first time and taking the risk of being outed at work or whatever. I'll never forget that memory of that.
Have you thought about post-Bistro life or a succession plan?
I really have thought about it a lot, and my employees and we've talked about it, and of course, there's, I'd like to buy it. Well, I don't have the money. Well, I can't just because I want you to have it, I can't just give it to you, I would just like to get out of town on a little land and, just vegetate for a while. I don't know. But it is hard. Over the years, I've shown the building a few times when people have wanted to see it and interested in buying it, whatever. And, if I don't click with these people, I'm like, no, I think I'll hang on to it a little bit longer, whatever. I know it can't continue. Everybody has their own plan if they purchase it, of course. But I really would like it to continue in some way as it is, with people that continue to work with the community and continue to strive for equality, education, those types of things.
Jan Lancaster will be honored at the History Makers Gala on June 18th, and you'll hear from another one of these history makers tomorrow at 5 on WGLT's Sound Ideas. Lancaster spoke with Lauren Warnicki. And before we let you go, the Bloomington City Council meets tonight at 6 at the Government Center downtown. That's it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. You can subscribe to the Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.